Les chats qu'à craignent pour la peau. Hey ya, oh oh, car l'heure des comptes viendra bientôt. Hey ya, oh oh, oh oh, oh oh, oh.
Quickly, I started out in Hollywood in the year 2000, in January of 2000 to be exact. Moved up fairly quickly. I started in the set decoration department. I was a set dresser. It's a hard job. It's a modest job. I then moved up to being in charge of continuity with the sets when the actual cameras are up, working directly with the director and the director of photography for continuity and to make sure that everything cuts together in post-production. That being said, some productions that I worked on that your listeners will recognize right away. I worked for Spielberg on Catch Me If You Can. I worked for J.J. Abrams for 4 years on all 5 seasons of the ABC network show Alias from 2002 to 2005. I worked for Jerry Bruckheimer on the first Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl for Disney. I also did some time on National Treasure. I've worked for Joel Silver and many others. Within my specific job delineation, I was at the top of the game, you could say. Much of what is used in Hollywood today that would be considered Luciferian in nature really comes from a lot of the Druidic incantations, the Druidic witchcraft, the worship of Gaia, of Earth in 9th and 10th century England. And prior to that, you can trace that through Kabbalistic witchcraft, Jewish mysticism, all the way back really to what was going on in Babylon. So I want people to understand that there's a distinct through line from the time that the Babylonians were sacrificing kids to Moloch in the temple at the top of the Tower of Babel, at the top of that construct, from the time that they attempted to slap God right in the face with that stuff to Hollywood today, you could do an exhaustive study and find a distinct through line in the practice of witchcraft. Corey wrote a book where he exposed pedophilia at the highest upper echelons of Hollywood. We're talking executive VPs of development, producers, mega power agents, and the international bankers that fund all this stuff. Okay, they throw parties. The parties become orgiastic. They ply these young kids with pharmaceuticals, and see, they don't necessarily try to get them drunk at 12 or 13. You just give them a few pills, and then what they do is they will capture on video these young kids in very compromising positions. And I'm not just talking orgiastic behavior. I'm talking about multi-partner homosexual. It's hard to get this stuff in the right verbiage, but I'm talking bloodletting, animal dismemberment, and as we are now learning since the quote unquote Pizzagate story broke out of the WikiLeaks data dump of early November 2016, we're learning that there is this global pedogate issue. And folks, I got news for you. It goes all the way back to the sexual practices of the Babylonians. You wonder why kids are going from Toronto to Hollywood to Haiti to Mexico City? Because when God dispersed the Babylonians, they took 2 things with them: child sacrifice and what we call pedogate, pedophilia. So in Hollywood, they want you compromised at a young age because once they've got the goods on you on video, they own you.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures. Of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul, and that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry. You know, there's a lot of good people in this industry, but there's also a lot of really, really sick, corrupt people in this industry. And there are people in this industry who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law. And that's got to change. That's got to stop.
I go to Hollywood parties, or, you know, occasionally I go to Oscar parties and things like that. And people, big stars, people will grab me by the arm and take me aside and say, "I just want to thank you for the things you say." And it blows my mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. You know, and it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
Well, we've talked about Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra mind control stuff from, I mean, this goes back decades.